who's got a helper, put your hands up. Okay, I think that's most of you. Close your eyes and think about how your helper makes life easier for you. Think about it. Who cooks your meals? Who in some cases makes your bed? Who cleans your house to make sure it is a safe place for you? It all comes down to one person, your helper. Did you know that helpers in Hong Kong have less rights than you? Do you want to let the government of Hong Kong make your helper miserable? I don't think you do. I most certainly don't. That is why I'm up here today, to tell you that laws aren't always fair, and I strongly believe that helpers in Hong Kong should have more rights. Did you know that helpers in Hong Kong can't have a permanent ID card just because of their job? Did you know that without permanent ID card you can't vote? One of my biggest reasons for talking to you today is that all the helpers don't get as many rights, but what's more is they don't really have anyone to defend them. Think about what I said shortly. Without an ID card you can't vote. No one from the government would listen to what they have to say. Think about everything. For example, you've had your parents to defend you since you were born, but our helpers, are their parents here? Do the government act kindly? As a matter of fact, they are the ones making all the laws against our helpers. What about their holidays? You may not know this, but every year helpers have weeks of holidays less than office workers. They don't even get Christmas. Don't you think that it is most unfair? I mean, your helper doesn't choose to have that job. They didn't ask to be unlucky. Another thing for you to think about is if you had to go to school without the Christmas holidays, you'd probably go mad. And helpers don't only work until 3 o'clock either. Did you know that it is the law that helpers should have at least Sundays off? Did you know that some people don't even give their helpers the day? But do the helpers complain? No. And even if they do, no one listens. I mean, come on, this is beyond imagining. How could anyone work 7 days a week and not be able to complain? Some of you may say, well, it's normal they aren't allowed to do as much because they really are starting to overpopulate the country. But I think that, as most people say, 2 heads are better than 1, which would mean we could all work in a better community with ideas from everyone. Also, all of you must remember, helpers are humans and they have feelings too. How would you feel if just because one of your differences made people treat you worse than others? How would you feel if you couldn't have particular possessions just because you were a bit different? You'd feel bad, I suppose. So I suggest we do anything that could help. Write letters, or just get information and carry on the tradition of saying the message to the public. Not just sitting with our mouths closed, a bored expression on our faces, but we get a move on from the stage where we just know the news.